I'll give you the most important one, and then I'll kind of add on how it's all driven. Certainly in software, there is a key metric that I believe drives valuation and comparison to peers, but also isn't the reason why it is so important and it drives valuation and comparison to peers is it boils down the essence of a business, certainly a software business, quite clearly. Rule of 40, growth rate plus profitability margin. And you combine the two together, and the rule of thumb is you should be at 40%. So you can grow 40% and have zero profit, 40. You can grow at 20% and have 20% profit, you can be 40. And you want to be better than that. And then if that is the North Star, it then, dovetails into all sorts of behaviors. Okay, let's grow faster. Well, how can we grow faster with being crafty with our spend? Okay, we're going to grow slower. How can we maybe halt some or slow down some hiring or be really thoughtful about adding vendors or traveling to increase the profitability margin? The rule of 40 is the key. And so that was the first one that we gravitated to. And we just started putting it in every single board deck. It's on page 1 is the title. Page 2 is the table of contents. Page 3 is the summary. It's always on page 3. Rule of 40, rule of 40, rule of 40. So that was the key one. A couple of things below that we then used to drive the business to produce a better rule of 40. In our business, gross retention, we think is pure. So are customers staying or are they going? Gross retention. And that is how the customer success team is managing the business. Its marketing looks at this. So I like metrics that the business actually uses and adopts that then I can communicate also to the external world, because if the two aren't linked, it just becomes very difficult. Finance is looking here. Maybe the investor relations is saying one thing and then the business is doing something totally different. So gross retention is a key one for us, helps drive rule of 40. Smart ratio is another one for us. And so this is the ARR you added in this quarter or some period divided by the sales and marketing costs of the last period. You ideally want that to be over 1. I added $1 of ARR. I spent $1 of costs. Great. 1 divided by 1. It's great if it's 2 or 3. A lot of companies have it negative, and then they start to look at other metrics to shore that up. But we look at smart ratio. So are we accretively adding ARR? And then something that's specific for us is we look at app attach. So our average customer takes 4 apps. We have over 100. And so for us to grow, all you need to do is sell customers 1 more app. And our channel and growth team, they're obsessed with that. And I love that metric. And I think it's a great metric because you add apps, you'll grow. It helps the rule of 40. And it's something I can communicate to the external world too, because it's a very, easy to kind of understand metric. So rule of 40. Yeah. So we are the leading global provider of next generation apps that enhance, augment, extend, and connect the world's leading platforms like Atlassian, Microsoft, Salesforce, and Monday. So we have a knowledge worker base that are using these platforms, and they could be using them because they are developers and they're using them for workflow, or they could be IT service management. They're using them for help desk support, both internally and externally. They could be in development operations. So focusing on the tool chain that the product and development team might use. And all of those knowledge workers like the platforms, they use them every day, but they don't do all the specific things that they want them to do. And so there's all these little pain points. And we have apps that come in and delightfully solve those pain points, and they're very specific. So they do what they say they're supposed to do, no more, no less. And they allow our knowledge worker base to work the way they want to work, allow them to tweak and customize the platform the way they want it to be.
This episode is presented by Avolair.